Welcome back to the channel for what will hopefully be a fun and informative, totally unscientific comparison video that I have very spontaneously decided to do. We have here 3 T-style guitars. This is a parts caster with a genuine Fender ash body and maple neck. This is a parts caster with a knockoff alder body, we'll say, maybe poplar. A Warmoth neck with a rosewood fretboard. This is a entirely stock Squier Esquire with a NATO body. This guitar has a Seymour Duncan hot Tele lead pickup. This guitar, the Sunburst one sitting on my lap, has a Joe Barden Danny Gatton T-style lead pickup. This guitar has a stock classic vibe Squier Esquire / Telecaster lead pickup. These guitars themselves are not made out of the same kinds of woods identically. They all have different body woods. They all 3 have maple necks, but this one in the middle has a rosewood fretboard, Indian laurel, obviously maple. What I'm going to do is compare the lead pickups. First, I will play them through my Fender Champion 600 tube amp. Then I will play them through my Boss Katana on the lead channel. I will play the same chord progressions and licks for every guitar. Again, I understand this is not scientific. They all have roughly the same gauge strings. They all are Telecaster shaped guitars. I do not claim this to be scientific. This is just for fun, but I would be curious to see how this extremely expensive Joe Barden pickup, this moderately expensive Seymour Duncan pickup, and this entirely stock Squier pickup compare to one another, keeping in mind the differences. The Champion 600 will have the volume set on 5 of 12. It has no EQ. The Boss Katana will be on the lead channel. The gain will be roughly half the way up, all the EQs to noon, just a little bit of reverb. So let's see what they can do. I hope that was informative. A couple of quick notes. I played the Esquire in the second position or middle position because that leaves the tone control in the circuit to make it the equivalent of the bridge position of the other two, to make it as equal as possible, though again this was not at all scientific. I also wanted to make sure you all knew that I recorded the sound samples of the guitars with an SM57, and I did not level off the volume levels for the 3 clean recordings and the 3 dirty recordings because I wanted you to get a sense of the output of the guitars. So I changed the levels between the clean and dirty to level them out for the purposes of the video, but I did not touch them in terms of to level out from one guitar clean to the other guitar clean, because I wanted you to see which one was louder. Clearly, the Seymour Duncan and the Butterscotch Telecaster had the most output and the most mid-range. I believe the Esquire certainly sounded like a great classic Telecaster Esquire sound. For a Squier pickup, which if you were buying it aftermarket would be at most half the price of the Seymour Duncan, it sounds great. And of course, the Seymour Duncan is, I think, less than half the price of this Joe Barden pickup. The Joe Barden, I think, sounded like a traditional Telecaster pickup, just a little bit more high fidelity, a little bit more clarity, more output, while not being high output, and it shows why it is such an highly renowned and expensive pickup. The Seymour Duncan, the name says it all, is a great hot Tele sound. It is not a traditional Telecaster sound, though it certainly still has some twang and elements of the Tele sound, but it has more punch, more output, more mid-range. I think it would definitely be the choice for a harder rocking sound. I will put links to all these pickups in the description. That way you can see what the websites have to say for each of them. The pickups were none of these were product provided. This is a 100% honest review with no company or retailer sponsoring it. I was honestly just recording some for a little project I'm doing with a Les Paul and a Dan Electro 12 string, and looked over at all these Telecaster style guitars and thought this would be fun. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Please like and subscribe. And again, this was not a laboratory test. This was just for fun. And probably the most fun thing you did not see, and that was me in the beginning trying to balance all 3 guitars while I recorded the intro to this. So again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.